welcome back to the Crafts Cafe 3. That's right, 3 because there's others out there. But I do have that name as a URL for when I do put my things up on a storefront with Shopify. Shopify? Yeah, that's it. Anyway, so today we're going to work with some more polymer clay using 3 different techniques that I've been playing around with. Some I've shown already, but I'm going to do something different with it today. And one I kind of discovered on my own. I was like, wow, look at that. Look what it looks like. Yes, I'm going to show you. But it was funny because I was playing with this yesterday, came across it by accident, and just playing around with the clay. And today, this morning, when I was watching YouTube, I saw a short doing exactly the same thing. How does that happen? I don't get it. So anyway, hopefully you'll like what I'm going to show you and stick around and watch. I want to thank you all for your support. This channel has just a little crafting channel. It's my passion. I hope to do a lot more content out here that you'll enjoy and watch along and learn along. So I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to do the overhead so that you can see the process as I'm working and you can work alongside with me. Now today I'm going to use 3 different polymer clays. One is the Sculpey 3, and one is a store brand, the store brand by Michaels. I forget what it's called, but I'm going to show you that on the video. And then the other one is Dollar Tree. Now I've talked about Dollar Tree very briefly in one of my earlier polymer clay videos that I wasn't very fond of it. Maybe it was on my hauling channel, but anyway, I've since learned how to condition polymer clay if you come across some that is a little too dry or crumbly, and I'm actually very happy with the results. So I figured, you know, not everybody has these stores nearby or have the resources. So I wanted to show you all 3 different kind of clay and what you can do with them and how you can get the same results, I believe, or close to it using any kind of clay you can find, any of the polymer clays that is, that you can find and get your hands on. Okay, so it's nice to learn with the least expensive clay because if you make errors, it's not going to be a big loss. So let's flip the camera over. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you'll stay to watch the whole video. Okay, so today we're going to compare, this is the Sculpey 3 right there. Hopefully you can see that. It's just the white, and I've been using that a lot. And then I found these. Now this is a large pack, but they do sell in smaller packs. And you can get it at Michaels, Hobby Lobby, different craft stores, online, Amazon, even Temu. And so I also went to Michaels because I was talking to a friend who she was telling me about this. And this is the Michaels brand. I bought several different colors. We're going to take a look at some of these today. And this is the Craft Smart, which is the Michaels brand of polymer cake. Well, they call it oven baked clay. So I have not worked with it. I can tell already it's pretty soft just by touching it here. So we're going to take a look at that. And then many of you have seen this at the Dollar Tree. This is the Craft Collective Polymer Clay Assorted. Now they have many different colors now. I did see some more colors this past week. We're going to just play with some of these. I was not a fan when I first opened up the very first pack, and I kind of like on my hauling channel did not give a good recommendation, but I had not really worked with it. I just thought it was too crumbly and hard to work and condition for use. But since then, I've been playing around with this, guys. I've been playing around with it, and I feel like it's a great alternative, especially if you're in a bind and trying to finish a project and you don't have time to order online, or maybe you're just starting out and you don't want to lay out a lot of cost. This is a great way to do it and to play around and get familiar with working with polymer clay. Now, the one thing is, this does not give a bake time or temperature, but I have found that I keep mine around 250, my little toaster oven, 250. You can also bake it. Any of these clays can be baked into a regular oven, but I use a little toaster, Black & Decker toaster oven. You can pick them up at garage sales. You can go get them at Walmart. They're very, very affordable because I don't want to use my big oven and turn it on for just a little project. But if you're a big mass producer and you make many projects at one time, maybe that is worth it for you to have the extra space. But for me and for my little craft channel here, my toaster oven works just fine. So anyway, I bake it the same amount. I don't treat any of my clays differently. Again, I have not used these yet. I've only used this once or twice, and I've been playing around with it, and I think I'm going to make it a great alternative, especially if you're just trying things out. I do like the Sculpey 3, and I think there's other Sculpey. This one is not a popular one from things I've read, but I've had no problem with it. But then again, I'm not selling my products yet. I hope to at one point, and because I want to get a little bit better at this. So anyway, I'm reviewing these items here that I purchased, and I just wanted to give you some alternatives. So we're going to play with this. And then I do have some Sculpey 3 that I have already taken out of the package. So I'm going to move that over here. And these are some cutters that I did get. And for this demonstration, I'm going to use this. And then at the end, we'll make a really different type of earring and use a different cutter. But for this experiment, we're going to try these, okay? So I'm going to run this through my little pasta press, and I'll be right back. I'm going to move that right there. So I just use the pasta press. It's just a simple pasta press. They're like $17 on Temu right now. You can get them on Amazon as well. And it's hand crank, and it just helps me a little bit. But I decided, I forgot, I was going to show you how to work this without having all this fancy tools and different things like that. And I found this will be the most challenging one to condition and get ready. So let's take out one of these. Oops. Remember, I'm the messy crafter. Oh, I haven't welcomed you to my channel. So welcome. I did have an intro, but I wanted to thank you all for staying to watch the actual demonstration. Let's see, what color are we going to use? Maybe we will use the blue. That's pretty bright. Oh no, you know what? My daughter would love the yellow. So let's do the yellow. Okay, we'll use the yellow. These are kind of fun to have to get open. So that's one thing. That was the first challenge, and it's pretty solid, which doesn't make it a bad polymer clay from what I can tell and have read. But see, it's really bendy, but it will, some of them might be a little bit more harder to work. But what you want to do is, and I found that if you warm it up in your hands for a while, it will get easier and easier to press together. And then I don't want to get any yellow in this, so I'm going to scoot that up there. We're going to move that there. I'm running out of room, everybody. And I'm going to try to do this without using my clay press. But as you get older, you will want the clay press, the pasta press, because it does help, especially if you have arthritic hands or anything like that. And then you can just kind of like work this. You can put a little cornstarch on it if it gets too sticky. But I found that I do kind of want it a little sticky. So this was a lot easier than the very first time I tried to use that. But you just want to keep working it and getting it to move around here. And I kind of eyeball it, although I do have guides around here that I did buy that will tell me how thick. And they're little strips of plastic, different heights, to help you with your roller here to make sure it's all evenly distributed in the same height throughout. So I think this is going to be almost ready here. I don't like when I roll it out. So one thing you'll know here, when I use my pasta, I pull it through and then I'll press it like that and pull it through. You always want to put the crease in first into the pasta press, because otherwise you're going to get a lot of bubbles. Like there's a bubble there, but you can pop it with different tools and then roll it again. Like there's a big bubble right there. And you don't want those bubbles in there because they do distract from what you're trying to do and takes away from the quality. We'll get back to that one and finish this. This feels actually pretty good, okay? So we're going to let that one sit over here. And now we're going to open up one of these. Now I'm going to save this because I think for the last project we're going to do these two colors in some way, form, or fashion. And we'll take a little bit of this to work. Now there's a lot of supplies at Dollar Tree that you can use to work into your polymer clay. Lots of little things, different embellishments and things like that. But we're gonna just take, I think that might not be enough. Let's see, did I cut that upside down? Nope, okay. So I'll use my little cutter, we'll get enough out of here. Put that back there. We're going to do the same thing with this one. Now this seems not as soft as I first thought. It's a little bit softer than this one out of the package, and not as soft as the Sculpey 3. So I would say that's in the middle of these three. And I do this first because that's how I can get it all to stick together and kind of, looks like I had a piece of white there. Let's push this over here. We're going to do this over here. And yeah, this is a lot softer than the Dollar Tree, so it's really nice. Now this was like $1.79 a package, and that really surprised me. And that wasn't even on sale. That was like their regular price. So see how it's a little sticky? So that's kind of good, but if it gets too sticky, you can add a little bit of cornstarch, and it would make it not so sticky. But if you get too much cornstarch, it's not going to hold on to anything that you might be wanting to press into it. It might just be a little bit harder. So they also say when it's like this, you can put it between like some paper towels or parchment paper, and you can see it and soak up the, maybe it's not parchment paper, maybe it's just regular like tissue paper or paper. Oh, I know, it's actually printer paper, like paper. And you would see the oils come out of it a little bit. So see, it's really, this one is really got a lot of oil because these are oil based. So I think what I'm going to do here is just dust it a little bit. I got my little cornstarch. Just, you don't need a fancy container, although this is stinking cute. But you can get just a little container of cornstarch and use that. So let's see here. Okay, and this roller came in a set, so you can buy one of those little starter sets. However, Dollar Tree does have a plastic one. Any kind of roller will work, but they have a little kit with some cutting tools in them, and again, $1.25. So you can't beat it if you're just trying it out and not even sure you're going to stick with it. So it's nice not to be able to or have to invest a lot. This is definitely a hobby or something you might be more interested in later on in buying more little tools to use. But if you're just starting out and not sure, Dollar Tree has everything that you might want to work with this. So I got a little hair right there, and let's see, I want to take that out of there. Okay, so I'm going to get these all shaped up. Okay, so we have our pieces cut out. Now, these are also packs. These were two separate packs of like embossed textured boards that you can use to put patterns onto your clay. And they were from the Dollar Tree, and they're double-sided, so you're going to have a print. I didn't even realize that when I first got it, that I was going to have a print on each side. And that's a really nice little feature. I wasn't aware that would happen. And this one has like a cheetah print, and then you just have like these like dot pattern on the other side. So there's a lot of different things you can do. So from the Dollar Tree for $1.25 per board, I thought we'd give this one a try and see what you think, because it is definitely something you could use and it would be fun. Now, I don't know which one I want to use on that. I think I like the flowers, so we're going to use the flowers. Now, you just lay it onto your clay. Well, you know what? See how it's going to stick right away, which is a good thing, but I kind of want to put a little bit of polymer clay on here. I mean, cornstarch, so it doesn't stick all that way. And then I'll tap that off, because I don't want it to be all in the crevices that I want to. Some people do it this way. They just put it onto the clay here. Okay, so we are going to see this here. And to get a really good embossed image, you want to have an even pressure going across. Okay. So this one, part of it did work. Okay. So you can see kind of came out okay. Let's see the other side. Let's see if we can get a better image here. You know, I'm going to try it this way. See, I got powder in there. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I just did it on the other side. Okay, whatever. I think this one might work better this way. Let's see if we can get, I don't want it too thin. Okay, oh yeah, that one's much better. That one's much better, see? Okay, so we have that there. Put that down like that. And I like the embossed look to it. Okay, we're gonna do this one here. Now this was the softer clay, and you can tell it is, because it is definitely sticking. So I might let this one kind of de-oil out. Yeah, that's going to be a mess. See that? That was a mess. That was my fault, I guess. This is a baby wipe. It does help to clean it up. So that one did better that time, but still not perfect. There we go. So a little cornstarch when I was rolling it out helped. Okay, that's good. So we have that. Almost looks like an Easter egg. Now, let's see. So far, once I did the cornstarch, this one came off a little easier than that. And let's do this one. So that was pretty good there. I think I'm going to do it a little bit more because I want it a little bit more. I want it all on there because I need it. So what I'm going to do here, yeah, that worked. Oops, a little cracking there. Okay, remember that's the Dollar Tree one. Not too bad though. Okay, now we can put that aside. Now I have these different sized cutters. Now this came in a set like this from Temu, but you don't need this if you have something square. You have a different old cookie cutter, tiny one that you're thinking about doing. I'm gonna use, see, this is like a cookie cutter here. I have this little star. I wonder if I can get two because I really want two. Let's try two here. Let's do one here. And I like the metal ones because they do cut very well. That wasn't a very good example of it cutting very well though. And then see how that comes in. If you clean it up right now with your finger or some other tool before, that will be less sanding or less finish work you might have to do. And I don't want to mess this up. And this is just a little silicone tip. They do have them at Dollar Tree, different ones like that, not shaped like that. I found a lot of things in the nail section, So take a look at there and see what you can find for embellishments. That would be a great place to start. Okay, so this one edge, just push that down. Okay, so we're gonna move this aside. And I'm gonna go with that. These are gonna be pretty simple, but wait till you see what we can do with them, okay? So there's two right there. Now, I do wanna do some squares, and I think, how big do I want my squares? I think what I wanna do is somehow combine these. So let's see what we can get out of here. Can we get 4? Can we get 4 out of that one? Looks like we can get 4 out of the white one, of the big ones. Oh, but that's not very good. So let's bring our board back and see if I can get more impression on here. Let's do that. Oops, I don't want that pink in there. Not on my white. Although it may not matter when you see what I'm gonna do. Okay, we got that off in there. Let that dry. And I'm so glad that you came tonight to watch. Let's see here. And here. And here. I don't really want them that thin though. So let's see. We might have to change this up a little bit. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. Feels like a blanket, like a quilt. It's actually a very cute idea if you're making any kind of polymer clay little things. Okay, so I think I want to get 4. If I can get 4, now I can't get 4 of them the way I cut that. Okay, well we can do, maybe we can do 4 of these. This size, yeah, okay, we can do 4 this size. Let's cut that. I like this because I can cut several ones out at the same time. And I'm just going to press down. And I just kind of put a little bit more pressure here. You don't need to, but you could pull it out and cut it with your cutter after that. So see how the edges are? I need to clean that up a little bit. I know that there's people who are experts, I tell you, at getting these out and having them look beautiful the minute they pop out. I have not risen to that level. Okay, let's just, I like this little silicone tip because it kind of like does what I need it to do real easy. Blends it down. Okay, I'm trying not to mess the embossed image on top. Ooh, that's thunder outside. Do you hear that? We don't normally get thunderstorms. Okay, so there's that one. Kind of keep it as nice as I can to the square. I'm going to try something different. These are very thin. These are little eye pins, and you can get them in all different lengths, sizes, colors. This is like a gold tone. And so I'm going to see if this will work because they're very thin. So I was thinking I'll put 2 together like this. So what I want to do is make sure that goes like that. I don't know if this is going to work, guys, but we're going to try it, okay? I just want the eye pin area to go diagonal like that. I can still have enough length here to cut it later on when it comes out of the oven. And then I'm going to meld these together. I think what I want to do though, oops, oh, it looks like it's going to hold. Okay. Well, I was going to do a little adhesive and I forgot for a little extra cushiony. So now it kind of looks like one piece here. And then when it comes out, I can sand these edges nice and smooth. Could be a little harder near that eye pin, but I don't know. We're going to experiment. I think it'll work out. Okay, let's just do that. And just so you know, Dollar Tree does have these too. They have all kinds of, you know, what they call findings for earrings and jewelry making. So I would say that probably for about $10 or $15, you can get everything you need, maybe even less. To get started and to give it a try. Okay. Just gonna do that. I'm not sure how this is all gonna turn out, you guys. So I don't like that seam showing like that, but we will be able to sand that when it comes out. Let's see if I can get it. The better I can get it now, the less sanding. And I use, I just use my 80 grit nail polish or nail sander or nail file. Okay, so those two are going to be like that. Now, what are we going to do with these? So I'm going to stick with this, and we already know about these here. I think I'm going to get as many as I can get out of this. So when you go to this kind of trouble, you want to, oh, there comes the rain. It's going to be loud. It's going to be loud on here. Okay, I don't think we're going to get as many. We're not going to get all 8, are we? Maybe. Okay, looks like we'll get about 6. Oops, I messed up on that one. Okay, so I got them all on this little ceramic tile. Now, let me tell you about these ceramic tiles. This is what I use to bake on, and you can use a cookie sheet with a baking parchment paper underneath it. That would work. Something flat that doesn't have any ripples or any kind of embossed or raised areas. Something straight flat. That's going to be the best bet for you. And I found these at Home Depot. So one of your home improvement stores will have them. They sold it to me. I think they were like 19 cents. I spent 38 cents and got 2, something like that. Okay, so this next video portion, you're going to see me just jump to the gold mica powder. So I did not show the silver mica powder going onto those square with the head pins in them, but I think you'll still see the gist of how it works. Okay, so I got out some gold here, and I just want to show you what I'm doing to kind of make this all go together. And I'm rubbing the mica powder, which again, you had some, if you had some eyeshadow that you're not using, or you want to go to Dollar Tree and just get some coloring glitter eyeshadow there, that would be a great option. And just see, now this is giving a chrome finish, so I don't know what those would come out like, but I know that you can use eyeshadow on this stuff. Just get that all in there. Then I'm going to wipe my hands off before I pick up the other pieces. But I have to say, I kind of like how that looks with the gold on it. Ooh, maybe we can do this. Okay, I just can't stop. I just can't stop. That actually, it looks like one of those tin ceiling tiles back in the day. Okay, I like that. Okay, I like the mixture. Okay, this is gonna work. See how it just keeps evolving because I can't let it go. Yep. Well, that's going to turn out, you guys. Who says? Who says you ruined it? A lot of mistakes have created some fantastic piece of art. There you go. We do that. Get this all in here so it's uniformed. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't know. What do you think? We'll see how it looks. It looks like a piece of metal. It doesn't even look like clay anymore. Okay, enough with that one. Now, I only have one of those. I got to clean my hands off. Now, next to all this, these look fantastic. Everything else looks plain, doesn't it? Okay, let's do this. Get that all cleaned up because I don't want any of that coloring on anything else right now, especially if we decide to do a different color. Those brushes will wash out. I'm in love. I'm in love with these. Okay. And that'll all come out and get baked. Okay, get baked. Okay, we want this turned the right way because once it's in there and baked, you could, it's metal, you could probably do it, but there's a risk of breaking it, so I wouldn't want to do that. Okay, what are we going to do with these guys? Are we going to use the same different kind of thing here? I don't know. I have some pearl, but that just kind of, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to do that. Let's think about this a second. Let's see, because whatever I put on there is going to kind of sink in because the raised part and I pushed too hard. Just my purpose, just the way I am. Let's see if we can get a color that's going to look really good. Here's some pink that I have. Kind of looks like peach. And now you're going to see me use a Q-tip for this one. These are fabulous. I did not think I would use, I use them for resin, but I never thought I would use them so much on this stuff. Okay, so we're going to do this, I think. Okay, can you see like an iridescent pearl in there? So that's going to be really pretty. And I have ideas on how we're going to do all that. And I just wiped around here. It doesn't matter. That'll all get cleaned up when I'm done. And now these are kind of boring now, the stars. What can I do with the stars? The stars, I guess we can make them look like metal also. Or we have this pearl, but I don't know how it's going to look on the yellow. Well, let's find out, right? We don't know until we try it. Maybe I could do a couple different colors on here. Let's see. Gonna give this pearlescent. Ooh, that might actually work. I gotta get that all rubbed in, you guys. Oh yeah, okay, well, look at that. It's all gonna show up here in a second. You're gonna see, I think it makes the flowers kind of pop up. Okay, I got a little carried away. We'll get that all off of there. Don't worry about that. Oh yeah, now you can really see the chrome kind of iridescent look come up, huh? I don't know. We'll see. I might as well make them both the same, right? Well, I like how these mica powders work. And I guess that's what's in eyeshadows too. Those are pretty. Okay, I'm starting to like those. I still think these are my favorite, but you don't know what I'm going to do with those until the end. So I'm going to pop these in the oven, and then I have another project we're going to show you. So the big question is always, how long do you cook it? Okay, well, first of all, you can bake polymer clay. You can bake it a couple different times. So some people bake it a little bit at a time and then they add some other things onto it and then they'll pop it back in the oven and bake it again. But I think I go for about 30 minutes, maybe a little longer, and I watch it. After 30 minutes, you want to watch it. Now, these are really thin pieces, so I would not want to go much beyond that. You just want to make sure that, now, you're not going to know how it's going to be until it cools, okay? When it cools is when you're going to feel the firmness of it and know that you're where you need to be, because you don't want it crumbly, you don't want it cracking, and so there you go. So now we're going to do this other thing that I've been wanting to try. This. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do is do this here. Might need a little bit more of the white because I don't want these thin. I want these really thick pieces, okay? So I'm going to get a little bit more of my Sculpey 3. Sculpey 3. Okay, I think by now I can take it out of the package. It'd be easier to handle. Okay, I want to get enough because I do not want to have it too thin. You are going to die when you see what we're going to do here. Die, I tell you. I'm not going to say die. We're not going to say die. You are going to be in love, I think. Now, I have made a version of this. And then after I made that version, which I'll show at the end, I said, oh my gosh, I can change that. I can make that a little bit different. And that's how it goes with me. I see something and I want to make it better or different. And always constantly changing it up. So I'm going to put this all together. You can tell one is softer and easier to work with. So it's just like clay. Let's see. I'm doing it old school with the roller for y'all. And that's actually working really well. Okay. Plus, I don't want it to go, oh, I got a piece of pink in there. Sometimes you can blend this stuff in and you won't even know it. You won't even know it. But I don't want to know that one yet. Okay? I don't want that pink in there. I'm very new to polymer clay, but I'm obsessed. I see these people who create these like characters and all kinds of stuff with polymer clay. I'm not there. I think I'll stick to jewelry and earrings because I do love what I can create with that. And I am just so obsessed with it and all the different aspects of it. I couldn't even believe it when I came across this, and it was a fluke because I was working on resin and my friend was like, oh, I love polymer clay. I'm like, why did you have to mention that to me? Why? I touched it probably about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, but I didn't have all the tools. I didn't know how. I was never even watching YouTube at that time, and I think YouTube was probably still in its infancy. And I didn't know anything about how to even use it. So I was just going off with my own mind, which was totally not right. Oops, I forgot I had that pink piece in there. I guess I still had some. So see how I have some bubbles in there now? I want to get those out of there. Okay, there's a bubble there. Okay, I think that's going to be as thick as I want it, because I do want them kind of thick. Okay, now, I got this Highland Cow cutter from my friend MJ over at Dixie Gypsy, and I think it's 77 or 73. I'll have her link below, but she sent this to me on friend mail, and I've been playing around with it. It's super, super darn cute, and we're going to give this one a fun little, I'm going to try this. I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to try it this way first, and if not, don't worry. we'll roll it back up and we'll give it another shot with something else. So you can do this with mica powders, but I don't want to hold it over my white clay, my beautiful white clay right now. I just want to do this here because it will fall through there. And I'm holding it up so hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I'm colorizing the part that's going to cut into the clay. So hopefully it will leave an image outlined with this color. But I want to get it all on all of this, and it should stay on here until I clean it off. So I will have to wash it with soap and water and a brush. And let's see, I think we have it. I'll have to do this twice. Uh-oh, I got it on my roller. Look at my hand. So I gotta be super careful with this. Lay it down. Let's push it in. And get a wipe. I use baby wipes for everything to clean up everything here. I buy it by the case off of Amazon. Oh, I was hoping it would fall out. I'm not good at having it fall out. I tell you what. Oh, we got an edge. That's good. Now, I don't want to mess this up. Don't want to mess it up. I can see. I think it's going to work. Let me see. All of you are going to experience this at some point in your crafting polymer clay career. So, just see how I can try to save this. It's pretty intricate, so hopefully you can see that. So Highland Cow and his ears a little distorted. Yeah, I might have to do this one again. Let's push this down and see what we got here. Yeah, it got a little smashed. So I have to figure out a way to get it out of here without having that happen. Now, if you ever want to clean up all these dots, you can use some alcohol, a baby wipe. Let's see, I want to get an area that doesn't have anything on it. And this will also help with any kind of marring you might have on your clay. So I don't think we can salvage this one, but you can see what I was trying to do. So let's put that up there. And the cutter is, the actual part that cuts around is right here. I was kind of hoping that this would help it not stick. We're going to put some more on here. We're going to try it again. This time though, whoops, it's too much. That'll be crazy. Okay. And what I'm going to do is take a little bit of the cornstarch and see if I can get it to work better that way. Oh, there's another way, but then it wouldn't, never mind, it wouldn't get that. You guys, how am I going to get it out of there without destroying? Well, I think pulling it was worse than maybe poking it here. I think. We'll see. Pretty sticky though. We're elongating that horn again. Okay, this is just not my night with this. Okay, so we're not going to do that. Okay, so I end up putting this aside and I'm going to take the rest of the white, the pink, and the yellow, and I'm going to blend that in the next screen here, and we're just going to start over. This process was a mess, and getting this out, I just had to trash it and start over. I'm going to take this piece and blend it. And we're going to keep blending it. And I'm going to take this and blend it with it too. We're going to keep blending it. Okay, so I have two pieces here. Just got to wipe that off. Just a little bit of alcohol wipe kind of just cleans up. Okay, so we're going to take this. I don't know which side. Let's see here. Okay, so we have that. Now I want to tell you, here is another trick, and this does work. Another trick. Well, so far I haven't shown you very many tricks. Okay, which side is this on? So you can lay this on here. I don't know if it needs. Okay, so you can lay this down here. I don't know if it has to be like wrinkle free. Yeah, we might as well make it wrinkle free. You don't want those grooves in there. I don't think it leaves a groove though, but it won't matter because there's so many pieces in here. So many different marks in here. I kind of want this marbling up here. So I'm going to put that in here. Now it's not going to cut through the plastic in most cases, but I want to really get that impression so the rest of it will kind of come up. But then it doesn't stick. Look at that. The one time I said it's not going to do that. Well, that's kind of cute. That came out. Now let's see. And then we would cut around that. That clump of hair right there. Ooh, I like that. Oh my goodness. Okay, now can we get some more marbling up here to make those two kind of symmetrical? There we go. Wow. Okay, so let's see what we got here to work with. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so we're going to get this onto the, we're going to get that onto the, I have one of these pens, to the tile to cook. I'm just going to cut around here a little bit. My little pen-like pen cutter. Yeah, it's super soft now. Now, this might be why people don't like this clay, although I did mix my clays together. And I've seen lots of school of thought on that, that people don't do that. Some don't care, some do it. I'm probably going to be one that does it, as I have shown tonight. Okay, if we get two of these out of here, I'm going to be so happy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I've cleaned this up. The other ones have come out of the oven, so I'm going to switch this over. Just a second. Let's see here. Aren't these adorable? But you can't really tell a whole lot on them, can you? So we're going to do something to that. You know we were going to, right? Didn't you know it? This little tool is awesome for smoothing down. I do have some other silicone clay tools for shaping and doing are coming now. Okay, so I got them all cleaned up. I got several sets here, and we're going to cook them because I think I'm going to keep them this color. I was going to use some of the mica powders on them, but you know what? I'm not going to. I did use it on another pair, which I'm going to show you. So I did these the night before, and they have baked, and you're going to see the finished product at the end. But I used the gold with this like purple brown mica powder coffee color, actually it's called. But first, look what came out of the oven. Yep, these are solid. These are solid as a rock. Okay, so those are so pretty. Oh my gosh. So let's see. Looks like it's coming off a little bit. So I think I will seal these two. And let's see. I didn't have that problem with another pair that I did. Maybe it's just because I cooked those longer. That might be it. These are really thin here. Pop these off. Those are cute. Those are cute. That cooked up really nice. There's no cracks, no bubbling. That came out really amazing. Yeah, we will have to seal these. And by sealing, I mean I'm going to put like a protective, probably UV resin, like something like this, or a colored one on top of it. But let's do this here. Take these all off. These are super cute, no cracking. Because remember, we used 3 different clays. Actually, that has like a nice finish to it. Now, if you had any problem like here, and I've also, like you can just sand that a little bit. Just rub it by. You want to make sure they're cooled before you do this. Okay. I don't want any sharp edges on the back, because if they're dangling, you don't want them to be rough or pointy to where it's going to bother somebody if they wear your earrings. Okay, so we have that one there. These are some little cases I found at Michael's for $1.99 up by the register. Not quite at the register. Before you get into line, you see it. But I thought they'd be great to keep my polymer clay into, especially when I have some mixed colors that I don't want to lose out on, because I like how they came out. We're going to put those in here and pop that away. Now I think I used all the, that was the white and the yellow. That's right. I mixed it together because that's what I do. I blend. Okay, so we have these here. Now this bit might be a little larger, or do I want them that large, the holes? I think that'll work. Now I'm going to try this without breaking it. Yeah, and I want 2 holes. And that really does do a nice clean job. So this little cordless drill is perfect for doing polymer clay, and I got it off of Amazon. I will link it below if you're interested. And it did come with several different drill bits. So the further down you go into the part is the bigger O-ring you're going to need, or jump ring you're going to need. And so I wanted to dangle these. They're going to dangle. And then we're going to need something here, don't we? There we go. There we go. Nice clean. This drill does do a great job. Okay. Now to clean up. Okay, so I put these together. And I think they came out really cute. The little bead ends before the bottom bead. And then this one is a little shorter because I didn't put that little silver bead right there. I did this one here. And then I have another set. I was going to layer them like 3 layers, but I think they came out really cute like this. And I did wipe that off, and it was just enough, and now I don't need to seal anything. So I thought those came out kind of cute. I did drill some holes in here. I haven't decided how I'm going to hang those yet. And then I have these 2 pieces here that I could do something with. So that was fun. And now I'm going to let these cool. These pieces here have come out, and I'll have to sand a little bit there, but they came out super cute, I think. And I'm gonna do something more with them. They're not done 100%. Now, if you remember, this yellow that was mixed with the white was the Dollar Tree. This was the Dollar Tree. I think it did just fine. I would definitely use it again, and I think the Sculpey was a little soft for me, so if I kept conditioning and working it, it gets softer and softer. So just know that. And let's see which one. These 2 are going to go together, and these 2 are going to go together. So this is going to cool on this plate still, and I'm going to come back. But I have something I'm going to put on the forehead here to dress it up, because you know I'm not done. And then these are these pieces. And I already curled the top, so I'm going to dangle something here and hang it with gold hardware. So I love how these came out. They feel like metal. They don't feel like clay. They totally look like metal, and I love how they came out. I love these. So there's going to be a lot of different things that I'm going to do now that I've done this one time, and I think going forward that has a lot of inspiration to do other things with it. But I need to get a bigger head pin. I have it in gold. I want it in gold, and I know I have it somewhere, so I'll be back. I'm about to reveal the final pieces. Little tiny paper flowers that are meant for nails, and I put them onto the forehead of this Highland cow. So there's those. We have these. Look at these. Oh my goodness, look at those. Oh my gosh, these are so stinking cute. With the tassels off the ears, or the horns, I should say. Super cute. Yeah, love those. Next we have, these were my favorite pair. Those came out so cute, I thought. And they look like metal, and they have a little bit of weight, not too much, but they hang really pretty too. Then we have these, a couple different sets. These are cute. So I used a different color glass stone here to kind of complement the pink and give a little contrast. So we have those. Let's see if we can fit those on the screen. And I also did a couple different ones here, like this, which I might have showed you earlier. So we have those. So many different ways to display and to do these. Now, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with these, but I will do something. I do like how the shimmer came out on those, and I thought they were really pretty. I probably will do something to the back at some point because I want them to kind of equal. I wish I had put them together kind of like these here, because I thought that actually looks cute that way. So I could still do it with some adhesive or liquid polymer clay and then rebake it and put the pin in like I did that. Although it's not going to fit as well because this is already hardened, so it's not going to have the same effect. But I really wouldn't need to because I have holes on each side that match up perfectly. And then the last ones I have are these, and I haven't decided, but I like how these two came out, and I can't wait to do more. So I want to thank you all for watching these videos. This was a fun experiment. I would say that out of all the clays, I probably am not 100% fond of the Michaels, but I do like it, so I will be using it. But I think my Sculpey 3, and actually the Dollar Tree, because it was a little thicker or firmer, I kind of like that one too. Now all of them will get really soft. I have found in my experience, they will all get soft if the more conditioning, the more working you have with them. So that was my experiment. I think we have some great products here, great different experiment using the same cutter, using this new cutter from Dixie Gypsy, which I love. Now I have to go package up some stuff and send them out. One more pair. I forgot to show you these that I made the night before. So you saw a little hint, but those are beautiful, aren't they? I just love them. I love how they came out. So yeah, I'll be doing more like that. I wanted to experiment with the flowers up here, but I think next time, instead of using the paper flowers for your nails, I might just switch over to using and making some polymer clay tiny flowers. Anyway, so there you go. But I want to thank you for watching, and if you haven't thought about it, I invite you to subscribe now. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye.
I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty